strategically. I can get it right. I'm gonna go where the winners go. Sailing ain't an option, no, it ain't in my blood.
Sorry about that. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Mondays Beyond the Mic. This is the place where we have adult conversations and we're going to talk about real things that's happening in our lives. And we also know that this is the last day or the last Monday in March, which ends Women's History Month. So we want to do something just a little bit different, and I'll tell you what that is in a minute as we celebrate Women's History Month. But we want to thank our regular viewers and say welcome to our new viewers. And I ask that you do what? Hit that like button for me. It's the thumbs up button. It means so much to me. It's just one little ask, just like that. You go just like that, and you make me smile. So when you do that, why does it make me happy? Because it pushes the show further into these YouTube streets. So we have a disclaimer. This show is for entertainment and educational purposes only. And we have a house rule. Whatever house rule, it's respect, respect, respect. And normally this is where I'll say welcome to my co-host, but Lady Dawn, she will be here. But right now it's just us. It's just us. It's just us. And as long as you are here, we can have a show. And we're grateful for you being here and being a part of our show on today. So we have what I want to do that's a little bit different. Normally we would pause and we give honor and salute a woman for Women's History Month. But I wanted to just have people to chime in the chat, as well as I'm going to say someone that I would salute for Women's History Month. So I'm going to start and say the woman that I would salute. So I'm going to give you two people. The first person that I would salute for Women's History Month would be my mother. She's no longer with us, but she taught me so many things, and I was blessed to have such a great mom that taught me how to have quiet strength. And I often refer to her as quiet strength because she didn't say much, but she allowed her silence to speak volumes. She did not interact with everything that was put out. Like some people like to go back and forth. That was not her style at all. She would always say the truth will always prevail. So just be quiet and trust God. So I have to say I learned that from her. So this last Monday, I definitely would salute my mom for showing me what a lady looks like, what a lady acts like, what a woman of God looks like. So I am grateful to my mom for that. And the other woman that I would salute, and it's kind of like someone that I would love to meet, would be our forever First Lady, Michelle Obama. And why? Because I think that she exhibited grace and style, and she showed us grace under pressure. Being the first Black woman, First Lady of the United States. She is intelligent. She knew how to carry herself, and she made us feel proud as a Black woman. I always felt proud to see Michelle Obama, even under fire. So the question, and hey, Pastor Loretta, good evening, she said from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So one of the things that we're doing is saluting women, since today is the last Monday in Women's History Month, that we looked up to or that we know, or somebody you may not know. So for me, it was my mom and Michelle Obama, our forever First Lady, Michelle Obama. So if there are some women you would just like to shout out and salute at this time, I would love for us to just call their names, whether they're with us or not, because they help make you into the person that you are. Because I definitely say my mom, if it was not for her, I would not be the woman that I am today. And hey, hello, Real Bridge 3. Thank you for joining us, and we appreciate it. And we thank Anae. We thank Anae for being the greatest moderator in these YouTube streets. And tonight we're going to talk about some things. But I wanted us. Hey, Kathy, thank you for joining us. I love the support. And as we know, March is Women's History Month. And we want to salute some women in our lives that have made a difference. And I think that's important because none of us have gotten to where we are without someone paving the way. And again, for me, it was definitely my mom, who showed me so many things, and taught me how to speak up for myself, but taught me in a way that was still gentle. I think my more direct side comes from my father. So that is definitely my dad. But my mom was just the quiet strength. And I so appreciate the life that she lived and the example that she left. So, with that being said, again, ladies in the chat, is there someone that you would recognize that we can call out their name on the show tonight to be able to say that woman was a woman of influence for you in your life? And we just want to honor them on tonight for that. All right. And I would say this. So as we move in and while you're thinking about who you want to talk about in the chat, I say hello to everyone coming in. We so appreciate you on Mondays Beyond the Mic. Because without you, I'll just be here talking to myself. So I do appreciate you. Uh, and hey, Nadine, she said, good evening to you. And as you're coming in, um, and oh, so let me explain. Since today is the last Monday in March and it's the last Monday of Women's History Month, I wanted to salute some women who have made a difference in your life. So thank you, Real Bridges. She says, Mrs. J. Fortunate, my elementary school Black history teacher. Right. If it wasn't for that teacher that taught you something or made or represented something for you or to you to help shape the woman that you are today. So if there's any women, we'd like to call out their names and honor them for being who they are, for being the forerunners for us. And then maybe one day somebody's going to write our names as being the forerunner for them. So thank you, Miss Fortune, because Miss Fortune, without Miss Fortune, Real Bridges could not be the woman that she is today. And I like to think that those were design appointments and design assignments that we didn't know why we ended up in those spaces and places with people who would then make a lasting impression. So Loretta, she says, Pastor Juliet McBride from North Babylon, New York, a woman of integrity. Thank you. Thank you, Pastor Julia, because now you have Pastor Loretta who's able to follow in those footsteps to see integrity walked out and to follow and be a woman of integrity as well. So thank you. Thank you. Let's shout out those women. I want to get it in, although it is the last Monday in this Women's History Month, I want to acknowledge those that have paved the way for us. All right, before we get into this topic, because our topic is going to be really real tonight. And I think I'm in good company when we talk about what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to move forward. And if you put it in the chat, I will definitely shout out those women who have made impact in your life, right? And I ask as you're coming in, please gently hit that thumbs up button for me because it means a lot to Bravo with Sheila and Mondays Beyond the Mic. So thank you so much. So tonight, what are we going to talk about? We welcome this real conversation that we're going to have on tonight. Today's episode is called Hotter Than Ever. And yes, some of you may have thought, oh, is this being, pretty and sexy over a certain age? But no, we're going to talk about hotter than ever. Is talking about menopause, perimenopause, and what does that feel like? because it's not just hot flashes. We're talking about identity, relationships, confidence, and what it truly means to evolve as a woman. So whether you're in it, you're approaching it, or you're supporting someone through it, it's a conversation for you. So if men of you on, don't say, oh, this is not for me. Trust you, me. If you are a man who is married, if you are a man who is in a relationship, and if you are a man who is thinking, who is just around a woman after a certain age, you need to know how to handle, as they would say, proceed with caution, because whether she's in perimenopause or menopause, there are some things we think you need to know. Good evening, one of the Lockley sisters, my sis, Gail Lockley. Thank you for joining us. And so, if you're just joining us, we ask that you hit that thumbs up button, as it helps push the show further into these YouTube street. And if you're joining, we wanted to say to people, um, yes, we wanted to say to people, if there was a woman in your life that you would like to honor and salute that has made a difference with this last Monday in the month, we say, come on, tell us who it is, and we will shout them out. So, as we are talking about hotter than ever, we're talking about perimenopause, we're talking about menopause, and say, let's normalize the experience because it happens, right? If you keep living, it will happen. So, good evening, uh, Miss Tiffany. Thank you for joining us. So tonight's topic again is hotter than ever. And if any of you are like me, you're somewhere between, you may be perimenopause or you may be in menopause, but we're going to talk about how do we normalize this conversation. Um, so I want to ask this question and I want you to talk to me. Well, we're going to go back to saluting, and I want to highlight. So Gail says, I would like to salute my mother, Catherine Lockley. Yes, I call her Mama Lockley as well. She is an amazing lady and takes on a lot between family, friends, and of course, her children. We love her so much. So salute to you, mother dear. I love it. And I can vouch for Catherine Lockley. And here was the thing, her and my mom were born a day ago. Definitely great hearts, those December babies. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And Faith Serenity Beyond says, a woman of the month and year is my godmother, Sheila Ingram. All right. Give it up. Bravo with Sheila. So bravo with Sheila. How about that? And thank you. Thank you. And Michelle James, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you, sis. And I ask that you hit that like button as you come into the show. And we're honoring mothers, no, I'm sorry, not mothers, women who have made an impact in your life, as this is the last Monday in Women's History Month. And I just felt, let's pay tribute to women who have paved the way so that we could be who we are today. All right. So we're doing that. But I also want us to realize tonight we're talking about hotter than ever. And as I stated earlier, whether you are perimenopause, in menopause, if you're not there yet, we're going to give you some tips so that you can understand what's happening in your life. And if there's a man in your life or a gentleman you are on here and you realize she's changing. So we're going to talk about normalizing what this stage looks like when you're hotter than ever. So here's the question. All right. So wait, hold on. I'm going to make sure I get this in. Kathy said, my mother, Ernestine Lindsay, who still cares for me like her little girl, Cece Winans. Her music is so strengthening. All right. All right. So her mom and Cece Winans are women that makes an impact. And I love that. I absolutely love that. Um, so when we look at it, we're going to say, now this is for us that may have been or are in menopause, where you are. When did you first notice changes in your body or emotions? When did you first, if we're going to be honest enough, and I'm showing you, I got my little fan. So yeah, I needed to understand. Sometimes even when I'm sitting here on the show, I'm like, it's hot. So yes, hotter than ever. We need a little breeze every now and again. When is the first time that you realized that there was some change, that something was happening? I can say for me, I heard about people talking about menopause. I heard people talking about, I don't think I heard people really talk about perimenopause growing up as much as I heard them talk about menopause. So I didn't know because I was always cold. I don't know if anybody like me. So I was like, oh, I'll welcome that because I'm always cold. So if I'm going to get hot, it'll balance me out. I thought I had the answer. Guess what? I did not. I absolutely did not have the answer. One night I woke up and I was like, what just happened? I was drenched. Am I the only person that experienced that? Y'all gonna leave me out here by myself? And I said, uh-oh, I think it's happening. And then I had to understand what was going on. So when's the first time you noticed? I noticed my body changing when I was like, I don't sweat. I used to say I perspire. I don't sweat. But life changed. I was sweating. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody is going to be honest. Thank you, Michelle. She says, same here. Same here. What happened? And I think that this is a conversation that we have not normalized as much. You know, I often watch the woman. We happen to have the same last name. I think her name is Melanie Sanders, and she's in the We Don't Care Anymore club. She's become very popular on social media. We don't care anymore. There's certain things we just don't care about anymore. So Real Bridget said mid-40s, right? No, it happened. Well, I heard about it and I thought, oh, I got through my 40s. I'm good. It was that 50s that hit me. Um, so Theo said she would like to salute. She would like to salute her 98-year-old, that's a blessing to stop there, and 101-year-old aunts who continue to demonstrate unconditional love, strength, and grace. We need to give it up because I'm like 98 and 101 years old. Love it. And we thank them for being who they are, who helped you be such a wonderful individual. So, hey, Lady Dawn B, let's welcome her into the show. So here, if you want to answer the question, who is the woman that you would like to salute in your life?
Well, good evening, everyone. Let's see. Y'all know it's one day closer to Friday, so I should be able to answer this quite easily. The woman that I would like to salute in my life, you know, the instinctual answer would be my mom. Would be my mom. Um, I watch how she navigates life, and it's because of her transparency that I've learned how to navigate life as a woman, and just handle a lot of things. And well, she does it a lot better. I think she does it very gracefully. Sometimes my father's temperament shows up in my world, but but I salute my mom. First of all, she's still here. So if your mom is still here, that's a blessing. Number one, number two, I'm glad that she's a woman of character and integrity. And the testament to that is that so many people, if you've ever met my mom, um, just love her and they gravitate to her as a mother, so that other people can see those qualities in her is a blessing. And I'm grateful. And she's pretty dope. She's real cool. I love her to pieces. So salute to you, mommy. Thank you for loving me. And it's her fault I act like this. So I'll just end it with that.
We're not gonna blame your mama for that. No, okay. So Nadine, she says salute to her late mom, Beulah Brown Singletary, her sister Vernell Scott, and the late Lois. I'm gonna put Elaine Roxford. So salute to all three of them. And I had the pleasure of knowing her mom as well. Well, everyone that she has named, and I can definitely um, agree that they were and are awesome individuals. So I am very grateful. It's something about when you can be around women who can show you without telling, because sometimes people tell you things, but when you
Mhm.
can see them walk it out, it
Yeah.
makes a difference. It absolutely makes a difference. And I also would salute my godmother as well. I have a lot of her, I say her sense of fashion definitely came from her. All right. Okay. So again, tonight's topic is hotter than ever. And if you're just coming in, please hit that like button for us. And one of the things, or one of the questions that we asked here was, when did you notice your body started changing? Oh, Theo, she said she would also like to salute. I'm sorry, she would like to salute Dr. Elaine and Coach Pache for being a motivating force in her life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Means much. I appreciate it. When did you notice your body changing? Menopause, perimenopause, menopause, like when did this just like, woo?
Wow, that's a good question. And now that I'm old and can't remember,
Brain fog is a
all the
part of
time,
that.
all the time. Right? It's no longer what they call it brain fart. It's not that. It's fog. It's all the fog now. Um, well, I would actually have to say for me, it was definitely in my 30s, somewhere in my early 30s. Had no idea what was happening. Um, because I have a hormone imbalance anyway.
Okay.
And then I also went through, I battled with cancer for 5 years as well. So my body is off, off anyhow. So I didn't even associate it with like perimenopause coming so soon. It would just be in and out of sync because I didn't think that happened until, you're in your 50s. I'm thinking I'm good, I'm clear, like what is happening. But as it turns out, yeah, it was in my 30s that I first experienced like what is this? There's a heat that's swelling from somewhere I know not, and there is no water to quench it.
Okay. Okay. Well, Michelle, she said, 50s was the roller coaster of hot flashes. So I remember because I had turned 50 and I was like, oh, I'm good. And then I don't know what happened, but like I said, I woke up and I was like, wait a minute, why is everything wet? You know, and that was my experience. And, Theo, we did not have that. Most of us didn't have. She said she never experienced hot flashes. I
Wait
mean, I
on it.
was, say it.
I'll tell her, wait on it.
Well, it was just amazing because I was like, I'm hot. People talking to me. I'm like, okay, give me a minute. You know, um, I think that it is definitely something that we need to talk more about, and especially,
Mhm.
I'm just saying, we got the gentleman. Vaughn is here in the building with the blessings to all. To
Right, you
have the
got
man
it.
in the building to understand. Maybe that's why the woman climbed through the window. She was hot. She
Oh,
was
take it there, Dr. E. Take it there. Right. Maybe she needed some air. Maybe she was experiencing a moment.
uh, so we I'm sorry, Vaughn. It was just there.
I'm not
So
sorry. I'm not sorry.
with that is just understanding your body. And we have Lee. She said, hello, all. Hello, Lee. Thank you for joining us. And Loretta, she said, the only experienced temperature elevation was some sweating, but never the profuse sweating. I began at 41 and now I'm 75. Okay. Okay. Thank you. And Kathy said, when I was in a movie story when I was in a movie store trying to rent a movie a long time ago and had to rush home because my whole body got hot. I had never felt like that before, and it was around my 40s or so. So can you imagine you standing there now, you think you sick? Because that would have been me. I'd be like, wait, something. And they're like, no, you're having a hot flash, you know. And I told you, I just thought could conquer it. Like, no, I'm gonna be good because I'm always cold. So because I'm always cold, this hot flash will
Yeah.
balance me out. Lies.
Yes.
So Crystal, she says, for me, that's dot dot dot. It was cute cougar puberty. That's one way.
I'm crying.
I never heard it quite that way. So cougar puberty graced my life at 49 on aisle 12 at Food Lions. It's been a rough transition. So I would have probably stuck my head into the freezer at that point because I would have been like, okay, where
Man,
can I find some ice? All right. But it's like this. I went to a friend's 50th birthday party, and this is what she gave out. I was like, oh, girl, thank you. The fan is, I know they were saying boots on the ground. Where them fans at? But this is different.
right here.
You need to know where this fan is at all times. And I just remember just buying a whole big fan, putting it by my bed, and was like, and then you go from hot to cold. Am I the only person that you like, oh my God, it's so hot, it's so hot? And then I'm like, oh, I'm cold.
Nope,
I
it's
was like,
not just
man,
you.
I know when I get married again, he gonna be like, lady, can you make up your mind?
Right, pick a temperature. Pick a temperature.
Oh, we understood what you meant, Kathy. So thank you. Um, And Theo says, I'm about to be 60, so I'm hoping it skipped me. And I'm hoping for that too, as
Not,
well.
I don't hope that for you. You need to have
Oh,
the full
and that's just
experience like the rest of us.
I'm hoping that you
I don't
skip
want her
it.
to miss out on the joy.
We're going to the next comment. So Gail says, my early 50s, and it got worse in my late 50s as I couldn't keep a hairstyle because my scalp sweat so bad. Okay. All right. I haven't gotten that. So I'm like, okay, keep the hair together as much as possible. But I guess if it's like this, it wouldn't make that much of a difference, right? It just might curl up more. Um, and Justice Journey, she says, hello, lovelies. Hey, D. Thank you for joining. And Michelle, you are absolutely, brain fog is real. You walk out the room, you look for something, you look around and can't remember. I don't know, but I think I was probably doing that before. But anyway, the brain fog where I would be like, what? I'm in the middle of a thought and I can't think. And sometimes I find myself, even if I'm talking late, I'm like, let me finish. And so part of it, even at work, being able to have that conversation and say, you know what, I'm going through something right now. And if I'm a little irritable, I'm hot. So I need to get up. I need to move around. So this is definitely something. And Lady Dawn, she said, really, sis?
I don't want you to not have the full experience.
So Tiffany, hey, Tiffany, she said, no hot flashes yet. But the way my head and neck get sweaty at night is unreal. Or is that the same thing? Hmm. Listen, I think everyone, as we hear, like Theo says, she never had hot flashes. So I think everyone's body experiences things differently. Um, However, just saying, like, one of these little fans is your friend. And I have a friend who she has a nice rhinestone one. So wherever we go out, people are like, oh, that's such a nice fan. I'm like, I'm not
That's what
that
I'm saying.
fancy. But I do borrow her fan when we're out, if it happens. And Kathy, she said, yes, laugh out loud from hot to cold. Sometimes I feel like going to the emergency room and just telling them to x-ray everything. And I hope they're like fellas on here, gentlemen, that you're listening because this could help you. I'm trying to help you. I'm here for you.
Right.
If you don't know how to deal with us, especially us more seasoned folk, you're going to say, this woman crazy. No, we hot. Like 1 minute she wants you to hold her hand. Next minute she don't want you to touch her hand. She hot.
It
Okay?
happens just like that.
Best gift you can give her is a fan and a cup of ice. No, I'm just so Justice for All, which is D, she says, after my total hysterectomy, when I experienced my first hot flash a few weeks and it started from the inside, I was about to go to the ER. So, right, if you don't know what's happening, you're like, wait a minute, this has never happened. Am I about to faint? Am I about to fall out? Because your body is doing something that you didn't know about. And I like that Crystal said we're going to call it cougar puberty, because people talk to us when we were 10, 11, and 12 to tell us what might happen and what to do. I don't know if someone told you what to do when you had a hot flash. At least no one told me. My mom didn't tell me because she didn't experience it.
They don't know themselves. That's why there's no way to prepare you.
So, okay. All right. So this is good. So I want to just ask this question. How do you think menopause or perimenopause impacts your mental and emotional health? Now, I will start and I will say this. Your doctor will tell you you have passed perimenopause when you have gone 1 year without a cycle. Now, I may be the only person in the room that was like, okay, yes, I'm going to save money because there's no monthly things that I have to buy. And you go month 1, month 2, month 3, month 6, month 9, month 10, and then booyah, you're like, what is going on? And then the clock starts all over again. So you mad because you hot and you mad because you have a, you're just mad.
It's trauma.
Lady Dawn, what's your thoughts? In the chat, talk to us. Did that happen to anyone?
Yes, it has. It happened to me. It's very traumatic. I was mad. I tried to act like my cycle was not here. I felt like if I ignored it, didn't even want to pay it, like this is not even happening, like it was nothing. And it's happened to me, I would say, like 3 times after I turned 50. I was, like, so that was, I thought I was good. I was like, hit 50. All right, here we go. Like, this is, it was like, okay. And then it was like, no, the first time I said, okay, we missed it, but the next time we're going to get it. And like Theo, I got to like month 11. And the next thing I know, just out of nowhere, although my cycle had changed, it wasn't like it would normally be, in the past. And so I called my doctor and she was like, yeah, that counts. I was like, but it shouldn't. I was like, because it's not even like normal, it was like, it's just like a little drive-by. She's like, yeah, no.
Not a drive-by.
No, she said it counts. So I was like, okay. But yeah, it's crazy. And if you're not careful, you can also, I think, becomes a little bit depressing. Like, you can get depressed because I had to think about, by the third time it happened to me, I was mad. Like, listen, ovaries, uterus, and everything, and then we're going to have some kind of conversation because
we had to have a meeting. But I want to say this to Big Clay. Welcome in, Big Clay, and thank you for joining us. No, you should absolutely. He says, should I go? I wasn't expecting this. No, this is for you. We're trying to help the brothers out as well. Stay right where you are.
You're in the right room, sir.
And I want to say and thank you. Uh, there are 22 people watching and only 15 likes. So come on, and 23. So when you come in, hit that like button because we want to talk about some real issues that we're facing. Right? We can say I'm a woman of a certain age. I'm seasoned. We walk. I was excited to turn 50, but because I was still regular. And something about somewhere about 51, I was like, wait, whoa, what just happened? So still being in that peri stage. I haven't crossed over yet.
Come on over to the other
I'm waiting
side.
to graduate. I have not graduated. Okay. And Dee, she says, this is a great topic, and I feel that men should be included. That's right. We want you to know, because remember, we're here to learn and grow together. And if you don't know what's going on with us, you're going to go out there and say she crazy. And then even if when you date somebody else, if you're in the dating space, right, then you're going to be like, she crazy too, because you don't have a clue what's going on with a woman and her hormones. And she says, because peri and postmenopause also have some serious psychological effects. Our bodies experience a different kind of trauma. Right? We like, this ain't never happened before at all.
Yeah.
And hey, Mimosa, thank you for joining. She said, my menstrual comes on a regular every month. I haven't stopped only when I was pregnant. I'm 53. It still comes every month. What it is. Shaking my head. Less sugar intake can lessen the hot flashes. Okay. Great. And what I do understand, like I went through a phase, and I don't know if some people in the comments or even you, I went through a phase where I was like, I'm hot, I'm hot, I'm hot. And then all of a sudden they subsided. And it's like drinking more water, making sure your body is hydrated. And for those that may drink alcohol, right? Alcohol is like a no-no. It's like you want them two to clash, your body is going to do something. Looking at the foods that you eat, putting more fruits and vegetables, some things. Listen, and if you need to, just open up the freezer and stick your head. No, just stick your head.
Tell the truth. Tell the story. I didn't experience hot flashes until I was 55. It seemed like that's when they came, like, and I was very clear, like, oh, so I'm not just hot. Like, there's a life happening inside of me from somewhere I know not where. Like, who knew you had this kind of heat coming out of your body? So you definitely got to change.
And I mean, think about it. How does this show up? How does menopause impact how you show up at work or in a leadership capacity? Right? I think about, especially when I was I told him, I was like, look, I'm having hot flashes. I'm hot. And so my male employees, he would just laugh because I would be like, and I'm fanning. And I'm like, oh my God. And I was like, all right, you laughing at me now, but your wife is going to experience this. And some of my female coworkers, the younger ones didn't understand because they're like, it's cold. But those that were my age and older was like, oh, I eat more berries and I don't experience it. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm hot right now. So give me some water. My water intake definitely increased. I drank a lot of water before, but I drink much more water now. And I like ice water, although I know warm water is the best. I drink them both just to make sure that I'm hydrated at all times. So, what would you say? Lady Dawn, Elder Dawn, was you ever up there preaching and all of a sudden you hit a flash and it wasn't the Holy Spirit?
Absolutely.
Look, I'm hot now.
You see what I'm saying? Listen, I've been singing, I've been preaching, I've been sitting, I've been standing, I've been driving, I've been in aisle 6 in Walmart. All of the places that just randomly out of nowhere. And at work, I'm very transparent. Well, if you know me, you know I'm transparent. It's just like, look, I give them fair warning. I'm going through menopause. Today is a high menopausal day. So please be very careful about how you enter and exit my space and the tones in which you speak to me. because I'm not responsible for what happens and how I come back. But yeah, it's you have to, and you have to learn your body for as much as you can for this season. I realized, no, I can't go doing all the things like I did in my 40s or even before 55, like I used to, because your body's like, yeah, go ahead. Your mind rather is like, yeah, your body's like, I wish you would, so you gotta learn how to adjust with it. But I think when you do all those things, at least put those safeties in place, knowing that you are, like you said, drinking the water like you should, changing your diet, and your taste is going to change. Your emotions will change. I know my temperament has changed. um, I'm not as irritable, believe it or not. I'm calmer, but I think now my calm is a little nerve wracking to some. So, and you just can't help it. Like, no, I'm good. I'm okay. They're like, that's creepy. So I agree
So
with
when
you.
we,
But yeah.
I would say, like, what are some self-care like practices that we have? Like I talked about drinking water. Mimosa said something, less sugar in your, like, and again, I know it's not good for you. Before I may have been, and this was years ago, right? I could have been like, oh, I'm going to Dunkin' Donuts. Now I have a parfait in the morning. So I have the yogurt, the granola, my blueberries and strawberries, and my water.
Oh, gotta have it. Gotta have it. I
What
think
is that
um,
song? Mind your business. I'm drinking water or something.
drinking water might.
Right. That's what I'm doing in this stage of my. I'm drinking my water and minding my business.
Absolutely. I think one of the major things, though, also is you have to mind the rest that you get and how much rest you're getting. And I'm guilty. I am horrible. I've been the first one to tell anybody, like, I am guilty of not resting like I should. Because that also affects how your body responds. In those times, and even just mentally, like sometimes just for your mind to slow down. You have to take time to take time. In this stage in life, it can't no longer be, I don't have time to take care of myself. Because if I don't have time to take care of myself won't be here for me to take care of, or
Exactly.
anybody else. So um, make sure you having your vitamins, and especially for us women of color, the vitamin D is essential, and iron. Those supplements are great. Collagen. Do something you enjoy. Find something you enjoy, because stress also is very hard on you. On its own, but especially during menopause, it heightens everything. So you got to find those moments of relaxation in between. Oh yes, Miss Mimosa. Oh yes, yeah. That check
What did
that
she say?
pH balance for sure.
Oh, okay. So she says your body smell changes. Okay. You have to know, right, and make sure, because don't be like, what's that? Make sure you go, is it me? No.
Hey, nothing wrong with a little self check. No wrong.
Listen, what the Shakespeare said, and to thine own self be true. So if that's
Absolutely.
if everybody is different, and we even know, and I would say this to that point, the cologne of the perfume that you used to
I was gonna
wear,
say.
you may have to switch because
Yeah.
your chemical balance is different. Your pH balance is different. So now you need to find a new scent. Don't go because you've been wearing, and I know I'm about to say white diamond. I know nobody probably wearing white diamond, but whatever it is that you were wearing, maybe you need to wear some Marc Jacobs. You need to just change it up just a little bit. So D says keep water. Listen, D, you ain't said nothing but a word. I'm just keep water on your nightstand next to your fan. You sound like you in my house. When you wake up from that night sweat, you can keep yourself hydrated. Also, liquid IV is good to add I don't know. Okay, liquid IV is good to add to your water as well. So, that's something new. I never heard of that. And that's just me, but somebody else. Mimosa says you have to include exercise in your everyday life. That helps. And you just think about it because they talk about the cortisones in the body and how all of a sudden you start looking, you're like, wait a minute, I didn't have that there. That didn't sit there. It's keeping our bodies active. I like to dance. I have not danced as much, but I try to like let me walk. And I think one of the problems is most of us sit at work for long periods of time,
Yeah.
and we're not moving as much. And or sometimes on a good day, we might move from the living room to the refrigerator back to the living room. But we need to keep our bodies moving, especially as we get older, because to your point, the vitamin D has to be important to us because our bones are not doing what they used to do, along with everything else that's happening. As Crystal said, we're in cougar puberty. That's going to be my new word. Thank you for that. Yeah, there's a lot happening, and you want to be great for your partner, right? Because if you're married, are you having that conversation with your partner if you were together through that? What if you're late getting married and you got to explain these things? Is that something you can have a conversation? I remember being in a car with someone and they were like, "Oh, so," I was like, "Look, I'm going through I'm going through perimenopause. So I'm gonna need to control this. It's your car, but I'm gonna need to control the temperature because things are happening."
Yeah.
They thought it was funny, but I was serious. So
It's
we
like we
have,
either gonna ride with these windows down, or your seat is going to have a little wet spot. Like, with, choose your battle, pick your struggle.
so I would also talk about, like, I think that this is a great topic that we're talking about because I don't think we cover a lot of times the women's issues that we're having, right? We didn't have a say so. It is just a part of us reaching the next stage in our life. And even if you are married, you didn't say, well, honey, we talk about how many kids we want. We talk about, what we see in our lives. We don't talk about when we are changing.
Mm.
What does that look like? I'm not the same person that I was when I was 20. I'm not the same person that I was when I was 30 or 40. I'm now entering into this new era. And how do we change together? Or how do you help me through this change? Right? Because we have menopause, and we say men have midlife crisis. That's when they buy
Mhm.
the red Ferrari. How do we have those honest conversations to really be able to say, this is what I'm dealing with? And maybe I don't feel like myself. Maybe I don't feel as pretty. Maybe I don't feel as whatever because I'm hot. And to Mimosa's point, now maybe I smell different. I don't know. All of those things could be a psychological thing happening, which Dee brought out. Um, So where it is. D says, my physician encouraged me to add magnesium supplements to my vitamin regimen, right? A lot of people like magnesium because magnesium sometimes is hard to, because those are some big pills if you take the pills, the magnesium.
Them
So
horse pills.
yeah, you got to be able to take them. However, you got to take those pills because D says it helps with mood swings, sleeping, anxiety that can be triggered by menopause. So thank you. And that's what we need. We need the wisdom. And I think more so, if I could say, one of the things about this show, and I love doing this part and having Lady Dawn and the people in the comment, is that to me, there is a sisterhood. There is some people that you can just
Mhm.
reach out and say, help me. I don't know what's going on. And even though we sit in these chairs or these seats on Mondays Beyond the Mic, We don't have all the answers. And this is why we felt that this was a topic to be able to say, help us through that. When somebody else is going through it, maybe somebody on the other side of the world at the end of this, they have some suggestions. They don't feel alone. And I think that we live in a world where everything is so digitalized and everybody has everything, but people still feel lonely. Like, I can't talk about this is how I'm feeling while I'm going through this. It affects our mental health. And especially if we don't feel like we have a blueprint of how to do this thing called menopause or perimenopause.
Mm-hmm.
Just my thoughts.
I
And
agree.
hit that like button if you want.
Why you got just
Tap it. Like, what are your thoughts? Well, let me just say, Mimosa, she said, I heard that the JJ dries up. Is that true? Well, now, Mimosa, what we're not going to do, I'm going to tell you, you're going to have a different conversation because I think everyone has a different experience, right? But that could be a part for some people.
yeah. From what I've read and understood, come to understand, um, what Dee said, is correct and helpful, and it does make a difference. Again, it's why, getting those supplements and the nutrition, not just from food, but change your diet, do it slowly so that you have changes that stick, that become your way of life. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change, and just like with anything else that we do, it takes time, so give yourself that grace, because you don't know how your body is going to react and respond, and everyone's different, like Dr. E said. I have heard, in reference to Mimosa's question as well, we are by no means doctors, physicians, and all of that, and not in the medical field, but that is an experience that some women have that they did not have before, you know. But again, we won't. I don't want to go too far into that because it will turn to another type of show. For that type of show, you can come on Thursday nights.
Right.
We keep it mild. We keep it mild and wholesome here on Wednesday nights. But
Yes,
that's a
yes,
real thing because
yes,
again,
Lord. No.
amen. Because your body chemistry is changing. It's shifting. You don't know. It's just if you experience it, be as open with your doctor as you can. Don't let that be, because that may be something that some women deem embarrassing to share with your doctor. But if you can't talk to your doctor about these things, don't start, Clay.
Big Clay laughing at us, but I hope you learn it. You laughing and learning. I hope you're laughing and learning. That is the key.
Clay, don't. I'm just saying, be sure to talk to your doctor about it. And if you can't, change doctors.
Right.
I'm grateful. I do have a group of friends who are they call us MP for menopause posse, because we're all like going through, the same things at the same time, and we're learning from each other. So we share different supplements, and I tried this, and does this work for you? And how did this go? And what was it? Did you have a side effect? And how do you remember? Because we forget, listen, I forget what I was even leaving the room for so I don't even get out the room. It's like, well, where was I going? And what was I going for? But, we just have to, it's a safe space. Find your safe space, create your village. If you don't have one, create a safe space,
Okay.
with people that you can talk about it. And we're going to make it through it. We're going to make it through.
All right, because we all in this together. And I want to just say, well, thank you to Big Clay. He said he went through this before, right? He says with his deceased wife. I would love to just get a perspective of, like, from a male's point of view, how did you deal with it? We're sorry for the loss of your wife. But how did you deal with it? Because we're talking about it as the people who experienced it. But having a male's perspective of how did you deal with it gives you may help you may save some marriages.
I'm sure I can persuade him to come and have the conversation when you're ready.
But I
He's
think that that is
missionary.
important. I say I'm going to get married again one day. I want to be able to say to my partner, you know, right now, I don't want you to touch me because I'm hot. Don't touch my hand. Don't touch my hair. I'm hot. Now,
Right.
5 minutes from now,
Blink
I
at me.
might be okay.
Right. But for right now, don't blink at me. Don't even do that.
Just bring me some water and spice if you really love me.
That part.
Or turn the air on. Or let me sleep by the window. Whatever it is. But I think, in all seriousness, is being able to have those conversations so that we as women feel like this is a safe space to talk to, whether it's you said the posse, right?
Hmm.
Or um giving us some nuggets of how, or younger women who are coming into this stage, right? Because I said I'm in the perimenopause stage. I haven't crossed over. So I want to know, what is it like on the other side? I don't know. But if I don't have anyone to have this conversation with, I'll never know until I get there, and then I'll probably be upset. So D, she says, my husband took the time to listen to me. So for ladies, for those of us that are not married and look, find you a man that is willing to listen to you, even if you rambling. Because sometimes I know I just be like, look, the day is happening, da, 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 da. And if you're like, okay, I don't know if you're listening or not, but act like you're listening, right? And she said, and he gave me space when he saw the shift in my attitude, right? He didn't match energies. He said, listen, I'm going to go. He probably, that's where the man cave probably came in. And that we hear about now, right? Men are probably like, build a man cave. So when they're having a moment, just go to the cave,
Right.
like the cave of a doula. But that's
Right. Like we can't get down there to the cave. We know where it's at. And Clay answered you too. I love it.
um And she also said, be transparent and honest about what you are feeling. And Mimosa laughed. And Clay, thank you. He says, I was very supportive. Right. And that's what you need. Because, like anything else happening in your life, we all need support. I don't care who you are, because when life is lifing and we didn't expect and you didn't know, it's one thing when you know something is coming, you know how to prepare. But the people who are in Walmart, aisle 17,
Yeah.
blockbusters, what you like, this is not where I expect it to happen.
Not the business.
Right. And Real Bridges, she says, comfort on the other side post. Okay. Okay. So there's comfort. I know what to look forward to. And Big Clay said, I cooked, I cleaned, I did laundry, I made her comfortable. So ladies, listen, even if you're at the age, you might just want to say, I'm in menopause, and see if your husband do these things. No, I'm just joking. Don't lie to the man. Don't lie to the man. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I think I'm rubbing off on you. Something's happening.
But again, I think that this was like such a great topic, because as we end Women's History Month, we as women want to be able to say, like, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. And while we celebrated the women in our lives and we celebrated how they helped us and taught us, I don't know. And maybe did they tell us about this part? And maybe we thought, or they thought, that it was not significant, or it was a long time coming, right? My mom told me about how much babies hurt. That's where she stopped.
Hmm.
She didn't tell me about what perimenopause and menopause would be like. I didn't understand, about your estrogen and cortisone levels and all of those things. And I can be full transparent. I may not still understand all of those things, but the
Right.
difference is now I have a community that can help me. So I'm going to call D and say, D, help me. Lisa, help me. You're on the other side of it. What does it feel like? And so that when the next generation comes to this point and they're in Stop and Shop on the middle of Macy's and they think they need to go to the ER, you're like, baby, it's okay. You have a flash. And now I appreciate having mine in my sleep and not in a store. And this is what I'm talking about. This right here is what I absolutely love,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Is that D said, anytime sisters help sisters, I got you. That's what we all want to hear. I got you. Doesn't mean I'm not asking you for a loan. Tell me what I need to do to get through this period of my life in this season. All right. And Kathy said, yes, it is. Great topic. So as we wind down and say goodnight from Mondays Beyond the Mic, just remember you are not alone. We are all experiencing something, and someone has gone before you to be able to help you. But we have to open up our mouths and tell people what's going on. And no, you can leave comments even after the show. And we ask, what's that little star thing? It's called the what that they can hit? It looks like a star.
Oh, the hype.
Lady,
You
the
hype us.
hype. I was like, yikes. No, it was, see, I forgot. Brain fall. It's called the hype button. You can hit the hype button to help push this show further into the YouTube streets. I thank you for making Mondays one of the greatest days in my life because I get the opportunity to sit next to Lady Dawn B and talk to you. And as we say for Mondays Beyond the Mic, that we want you to have a great rest of your week. We ask that you join us next Monday. Tell a friend, tell a foe, and we say good night and have a great one. And if you hot, get you some water, get you a fan, get you some magnesium. But we leaving right now. So we're going to say good night. All right.
Good night.
Oh, God. We are just going through.
But at least we going.
All
There you
I do is try to construe this life.